All right, let's dive right in. I want you to picture the scene. It is a grand, formal assembly. On one side, you have the powerful King Agrippa II, his entire court looking on. And on the other side, a prisoner, literally in chains. This is the Apostle Paul, and he is about to give the defense of his life, a defense that's going to echo through all of history.
Those are the words of the king himself. And with just that one line, the stage is set. This is one of the most high-stakes, pivotal moments of the Great Commission being proclaimed directly to royalty. Paul, with a chained hand, gestures to the court, and he's ready. The room is dead silent. The stakes, they just couldn't be any higher.
So what we're about to witness isn't just some old historical speech. No, it is a timeless and, frankly, brilliant masterclass in apologetics. You know, how to actually defend your faith. In this explainer, we're going to deconstruct Paul's strategic playbook, play by play, and see exactly how he turns a criminal trial into a powerful platform for the gospel.
So what's Paul's opening move? How does he start? He doesn't come out swinging. He doesn't start listing off grievances. No, his first play is to establish a connection with his judge. It is all about finding that crucial common ground.
Now this is just sheer rhetorical genius. And look, this isn't just simple flattery. By acknowledging Agrippa's authority, and this is the key part, his expertise in Jewish matters, Paul is skillfully building rapport. He's not talking down to the king, he's appealing to his wisdom, basically asking for a truly sympathetic and informed ear. He is completely disarming the court before his defense even really begins.
So after establishing that mutual respect, Paul then lays out his own credentials. It's like he's handing them his resume. He reminds everyone in that room that he is not an outsider. He's lived among them his whole life. He was a Pharisee, part of the absolute strictest sect of their shared religion. And this illustrates his strategy perfectly. He's confirming his unimpeachable Jewish identity, essentially mirroring his accusers to neutralize their bias and build his own credibility right from the get-go.
Okay, so with his credibility locked in, Paul makes his second, absolutely brilliant move. He's about to shift the entire focus of this trial, taking it from a criminal accusation and completely reframing it as a theological debate over a belief that they actually both share.
So this pivot is the whole thing. The Jews, they're accusing him of apostasy and sedition, basically a threat to Rome. But just look at Paul's reframe. He says, no, this isn't a crime. This is a family dispute. It's not about criminal charges. It's about a shared hope. This is not a threat to Rome. This is about the fulfillment of the promise made by God to our ancestors. He's masterfully recasting the entire conflict.
And what is this shared hope he's talking about? Well, it's the central belief that God would fulfill his promises to Israel. Paul argues that this very hope is realized in the resurrection of the dead. By doing this, he aligns his Christian faith with the very heart of Jewish faith. He's implying that an accusation against him is really an accusation against their own foundational beliefs. And then he lands the punch. He looks out at the whole court, at the skeptical Roman governor Festus, at the Jewish King Agrippa, and he asks this direct, challenging question. Why would you find it so unbelievable that God, the God we both serve, raises the dead? With this one question, he just cuts through all the legal arguments and puts the central truth of the gospel, the resurrection, at the very heart of the trial.
Okay, so we've seen Paul build common ground. We've seen him reframe the entire debate. Now it's time for his most powerful play. This is the dramatic climax of his defense. He is about to do something completely unexpected. He's going to confess, a brutally honest confession of his very dark past.
He starts by admitting that he was once just like his accusers. I mean, he didn't just disagree with Christians. He was convinced that it was his duty to do everything possible to oppose the name of Jesus. You see what he's doing? He's validating their perspective right before he completely turns it on its head.
And then he gives them the shocking details. He does not hold back. I put people in prison. I cast my vote for their execution. I had them punished in the synagogues. I tried to force them to blaspheme. He admits he was so obsessed, so furiously enraged, that he literally hunted them down in foreign cities. This is not some half-hearted apology. It's a raw, unflinching account of the man he used to be.
And this is the apologetic genius of it all. I mean, why would you confess all of this? Because it makes his next point absolutely undeniable. What could possibly transform the church's most obsessed, most violent opponent into its greatest and most passionate advocate? The answer he's leading them to is simple. only a profound supernatural encounter with the risen Christ. His dark past becomes the very proof of his new reality.
So what does this masterclass from a prisoner in chains mean for us today? Paul's defense isn't just a historical account, it is a practical playbook. Let's try and synthesize his plays into some actionable steps that we can all use.
So here it is. Number 1, find common ground. Always start with respect. 2, reframe the conversation. Find a shared hope or value that you can connect to. 3, share your story, and do it transparently. And 4, confess fully. Don't hide from your past. Use it to show the sheer scale of the transformation in your life. This is how you build a bridge for the gospel.
And that really leads us to the ultimate takeaway from Paul's defense. The most powerful tool he had in that courtroom wasn't his intellect or his rhetoric, it was his redeemed history. And this is the promise of the Great Commission, that God can take our darkest, most broken parts and use them for his brightest and greatest purposes.
So, I'll just leave you with this question to reflect on. We may not have literally persecuted the church, but we all have a before. We all have a past. So what is the persecutor part of your own story? The part you might be ashamed of, that God is just waiting to redeem and turn into a powerful testimony for his mission.